All right, so when looking at the number of customers and the revenue, the total expenses, and the profit, we're going to focus on one thing at a time. So for revenue, basically what we're saying is we want to know how much for R. So how much is it going to be for revenue? Well, we know in the revenue column, one person, this unit rate is very essential. One person is $350, so it's 350 times the number of people. Gives you your revenue. All right, so to pick up from there, that's basically revenue. So you know how much you're going to make, but revenue isn't everything. Revenue isn't your profit. That's how much you're making per person. But then you have something called expenses, and that's deducting or taking away from your revenue. So when we're looking at expenses, you can see here you have two expenses, the bike rental and the food and camp costs. So what we're going to do is we're just going to combine those expenses, and we're going to say our total expenses, E, equals $155 per person. So basically for every person you're going to be deducting $155, but we don't have to write the deduction. We just have to figure out how much the expenses are per person. So for example, in the first problem, the revenue was $350 for one person, which is $350 obviously. And the same thing goes for the expenses. The $155 for one person is equal to the $155 in expenses. And you can see that within the table. All right, number 3, profit is equal to a deduction here. So what you're basically doing is taking $195 per person. Okay? You know what the profit is. One person is $195. So basically for every person you get, so we could figure out 3 there, it should match up to $585. So if we said 195 times 3 people, we get in a calculator $585, which matches that profit right there. Okay? So that's how that's done. All right, so for using the equations, basically you can see that I rewrote these equations down from the originals. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a substitution here. I'm going to substitute that n, so it's going to be 350, and the n is going to be 20. And this is 155, 20, and 195, 20 equals. And I'm going to do the same thing with 31 customers. So you get the idea. So it's going to be $7,000 in revenue if you had 20 people. It's going to be 3,100. So 3,100 in expenses, and then the profit is going to be 195 times 20, which is 3,900 in profit. Okay, and you'll do the same thing for 31 customers. So you're going to do that on your own. So the revenue, the expenses, and the profit if there were 31 customers. Okay, so that's what you need to do.